And welcome to this very special edition of Muscle Sport TV. I am being joined on the phone right now by Mavrick Van HAUG, who you guys know from we were hanging out at the Chaos Nutrition booth, him and his lovely wife, Gwen. And I'd like to thank Big Rob D'Angelo for introducing me to Mav a couple of years ago and for hooking all of this up. But Maverick, you have a great history. First of all, I don't want to talk about you. Pat yourself on the fucking back, because you have a lot of accomplishments as far as television, movies, and I was blown away by. I watched a movie clip of you with fucking Bosworth and with Sting. And I love the Boz, so I was like, holy shit. I was really, really blown away by that.
To ride with me. I pledge to lead you down the right road. You're a part of our family now. And we protect our own. I'll ride with you to the end. Welcome home, brother.
I don't want to talk for you. So just people know who you are, but for anyone who may not, introduce yourself to them and let them know a little bit about yourself.
Well, I appreciate that, Joe, but I give all that credit to that man upstairs. He's blessed me with a bunch of opportunities and a bunch of skills to bring different things to this world, and having those blessings and being a part of a bunch of those productions and a bunch of different things has just been a blessing on my part. And I'm not one to toot my own horn. I like to let my actions speak louder than words. I've always been that guy. In the cage and in the ring, I didn't talk a bunch of shit before each fight. I just went in there and did my job.
Thus far, moving up to the belly, it has been back and forth. Neither man able to get the definitive advantage. Big knee there by the Soul.
On another big knee, sends him to the canvas. Maverick with some big strikes from up above.
The referee has stopped this thing. What a shocker. It's over just like that in the first round. The Cannon was getting pummeled by the Soul Collector, and this fight is over just like that, Justin.
Going back to the replay, it looks like Shannon the Cannon was doing quite well here. Almost as if he had complete control of this match until that point right there.
Look at that takedown. Beautiful.
That was gorgeous. He must have learned that on his travels to Japan. However, Maverick switched up and countered it beautifully once they hit the ground. Now this heel hook here seemed to be the end of the match, but Maverick passed it and ended up giving him those devastating knees and these huge strikes. Raining down those punches, giving the referee no choice.
And that's kind of how I live my life, and that's just who I am. I'm a man of action, not many words.
So obviously you're an actor, MMA fighter. You have a lot of credentials as far as that stuff goes. Political things. You've held office in politics, which I was. We were bullshitting in LA at dinner and stuff after we did the booth. I remember when you ran for governor. That's when I first met you 2 years ago at the LA Fit Expo. But I didn't realize you were a mayor and head of a school board and all of that. So those things are kind of just obviously for the esoteric, they're very interesting. But you also have a long history with Rich Piana, and obviously a lot of things have been in the media lately with Rich, with Generation Iron, Mac Truck. Dave Palumbo was talking about it with Greg Valentino and John Romano. So let us know a little bit about how you go back with Rich and how that whole thing came about.
If you want to put facts on facts, I call those people coattails, because the truth is they're just a coattail of an after effect of something that was produced and something that became something. And when those people talk about put their input on certain things and they truly don't know where it even came from, what the foundation was, they make accusations and accolades about what 5% was supposed to be and gang relations and all this other BS. And that's because that's their speculation due to the fact they don't know the real truth behind it. Mm-hmm. There's really 3 people in this world, or 4, that know the truth. And that's Rich, myself, Marcus Timmons, Chanel, mm-hmm. and Jane and my wife. That's truly, those are the true people that if you want to know the truth about the beginning of 5%, how it even evolved, where it came from. And, let's just set something really straight. Big Herc, Marcus Timmons, hasn't been mentioned much. But the truth of the matter the truth of the matter about all of this is that Marcus Timmons, Big Hurt, if it wasn't for him pushing me towards Rich and developing something, 5% never would have been nothing. It never would have been 5%. And that's the truth, because we met Rich. Marcus was like, hey, Maverick, you got to meet my boy Rich, this and that, blah, blah, blah. We were filming a show called The Collective. Actually, they were looking for characters for the show at the time. And Rich's name was brought up. And through production or whatever, for some reason, they didn't believe that Rich had production value at that time, you know, for the show called The Collective. You can look it up. It's called The Collective. We filmed a few episodes with it. And that's where I got real close to Marcus Timmons. And Marcus, you know, was a guy that was, you know, had street credibility. He had been to prison. He had been through the system. And like myself, had been in the system. Like myself, has been on the streets where these guys claim all this street stuff. I have to laugh about it, you know. And and he was a real dude, but Marcus had a vision that he wanted to help kids, basically is what it was. He wanted to give positive reaffirmation about, you know, society, that look, you can turn something bad into something good. If there's a will, there's a way, if there's a desire. And that's truly what One Day You May meant. And what One Day You May meant, that one day, if you stay consistent, if one day you keep striving, that you will succeed. No matter what the trials and tribulations that you have in your life, no matter what the obstacles are, there's an opportunity for you to succeed. If that's truly in your heart, and if you truly want to put the work in. So that being said, Marcus was already doing something and talking to Rich about this whole thing, One Day You May, when I got involved with the whole spectrum of One Day You May. And he told me about, you know, when I just explained what we were going to do with One Day You May. Now, that being said, you know, I told Marcus and Rich, I was just like, you know what? This is cool, but this is like a title to a book. It doesn't have the right, you know, genre for what it is that, you know, I think that we're trying to do. We got to have something that's logo driven, something that's simple, something people can identify with, and they don't have to remember a paragraph, you know, to identify with it, to be honest with you. So that being said, Marcus and Rich had already, you know, we already had the clothing line. They were already doing that. And just to make a long story short, I just want to make sure I give Marcus credit where his credit is due, because like I said, if Marcus wouldn't have pushed me to continue to develop and do something with Rich, nothing would have ever happened. So we decided to shoot a movie called Muscleheads and Bikini Girls. Basically, you know, muscle guys training bikini girls, having a good time, partying.
3 muscleheads. One wonders what brings 3 dynamic individuals together. Well, when you have 6 hot chicks that want to train for bikini body, the answer is obvious.
My name is Marcus Timmons, aka Big Hurt, and I've been training for 20 years. And everything I've done has been for women with bikini bodies. You see this? This is for the women that know how to shake that thing.
Come on now, down. Work that ass now. You want that J-Lo? Come on.
My name is Mavrick Wesley Von Hout. I'm a 5-time world mixed martial arts champion, and I do bikini bodies.
You got 3 more. You got to be fucking kidding me.
Rich Piana from Los Angeles, California. Been working out and competing my whole life. I've won every show there is. I know everything about bikini girls. I don't know nothing about 280-pound bodybuilders. That's why I don't train them. I stick to bikini girls.
Come on, girl. This is what's going to give you that bikini body. This is what you need.
Rich, you have eyes. I have.
Must be that time of day again, huh?
Oh, yes, it is. I got 6 scoops of protein, 2 scoops of waxy maize, some creatine. What, 1 scoop? 2 scoops? Yeah. Got some L-glutamine. Yeah. And the strawberries. Sweet strawberries.
Is that it right there? Is that it?
I think that's it.
Hey man, aren't you forgetting someone?
What?
Yeah! That's what I'm talking about. All right, tell me when. Someone say something.
Come on.
Pizza!
Over here. That thing looks good.
I was so excited to eat the pizza.
Hey, the pizza's not for you guys. What are you guys doing? This is our pizza.
Yeah, we got.
This is you guys. Yeah, this is what you
Yeah,
guys.
yeah.
Come on,
Keep
you
going.
guys.
Go heat that up.
Spinach, chicken.
There you go.
Pizza's for us.
Yeah.
Carbs are not going to get you looking like this, and if you notice, only the fat girls ran to the box.
You got it. Hey, look, bro.
Let's go. Who the fuck are you, man?
Bro, no. Look,
Let's go outside.
fuck it. If that's what you want, no, let's go. If that's what you want to do. If that's...
My bad. I didn't even know. Hey, can I get you a drink?
We know you had that covered, man.
Oh, shit.
Man, can you do that fool tonight?
Oh man, I cannot believe that.
I'm telling you, man.
What the hell is going on? It's 4 o'clock in the morning and I have to get up in 2 hours to train.
Why in the world are you even doing up?
You woke me up.
We're carving up, getting ready for tomorrow's workout.
On hamburgers and beer?
Yeah, don't worry about us. We know what we're doing. You need to worry about yourself. She's a nightmare. She knows everything. I mean, she looks good, don't get me wrong, but she got a long way to go.
And I'm telling you, I think they all got a long way to go. I don't think any of them have a clue to what they stepped into.
We got 3 months.
Think we can do it? 3 months?
We got a lot of work on our hands, but I think we got this covered though. They're gonna have bikini bodies when I get through with them. I'm telling you, man.
Let's watch and see what happens.
Y'all gonna make me lose my mind. Up in here, up in here.
Well, here's the thing about the partying thing. Me and Marcus don't drink. Me and Marcus have never done a drug. Me and Marcus don't smoke. Me and Marcus don't do any of that stuff. So we don't have any kind of partying lifestyle. So when Rich was with us, all that partying and all that shit didn't really exist. We shot a video in a club about it, but when Rich was with us, none of those dynamics were around him. So he was staying focused on the business plan of, one day you may.
Mm-hmm.
And that being said, we shot the film, the sizzle for Muscleheads and Bikini Girls. We started to do the Instagram page for One Day You May. And just the whole time was just like, you know what? It wasn't clicking. It just wasn't the thing. It doesn't have the right title. It doesn't hit right, And when we made a sticker, the sticker looked kind of funny with a 1, and we were all 3 of us were into like cool cars and making custom cars, and it just didn't look right. It didn't attract to me right. It just didn't have the feel for it. Though they were selling products in the whole 9 yards, the shirts, One Day You May, and the jerseys and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So what happened with that was Marcus ended up going to Vegas, and he had the company credit card, and he had made some charges on the credit card, and he hadn't said nothing to Rich about it. And then we found out Rich kind of felt like, well, he's taking money from the company. And I was like, I don't think that's Marcus's intentions. I think he just used the company credit card. It was there. He's going to pay it back. He didn't have any intentions for that. Anyways, that caused tension between him and Rich. Now, I don't know if there was anything else that was going on, but that was the thing that kind of pulled Rich and Marcus apart and kind of fucked up the whole little team thing that we had going on.
Yeah.
Now, me and Marcus, obviously we're still friends in this whole realm of things, and I'm trying to figure out how we're going to patch this thing together or work this out because, Marcus introduced me to Rich. Marcus was the one who kept pushing me, Rich has got something, we can do something with this, and we were going to boys' homes and all these different places to speak to kids and figure out what this marketing strategy was going to be. What was this drive going to be for One Day You May? And the whole time I just for some reason it didn't click for me for what we were going to do. It seemed more, like I said, like about a book.
Yeah.
So that being said, me and Marcus had did a deal, and then me and him got in an argument through a bad business deal. So that ended the relationship with me and Marcus. So it was basically me and Rich. And at this time, we're trying to figure out what's going on. I was like, Rich, the One Day You May, it's not happening. We gotta market something else. Well, I had shot a sizzle reel called Maverick's World. And that's my world. This is my world. And if you look at some of the old pictures, like some of the first shirts, I got a gun in my back and it says, "Welcome to my world." Well, welcome to my world. Now get the fuck out. That came from Maverick's world. Okay.
They call me an outlaw. I'm a 5-time world MMA champion who's fought in the cage for the last 20 years. I've taken my share of hits, but nothing keeps me down. I live life in the fast lane, and I surround myself with a group of individuals that can keep up with me. Together, we own this town. They call me an outlaw, and they're right. My name is Maverick.
And that was one of the biggest printed fucking shirts that sold stuff.
Yep.
Now, the other thing that was printed out was "Love It, Kill It." And that came from like an ex-relationship that was like, I love that bitch so much that I want to kill her. And that's where it transferred into the gym, where, you know, you love something so much you want to kill that shit because you love it so much. And that's where the transpondence into the gym was "Love It, Kill It." You got to love this fucking what we're doing and lifting weights so much that you want to kill each fucking workout. Mm-hmm. So that was the real truth behind two of those biggest selling fucking shirts. And if you look at Maverick World, that's where it comes from. I talk about it in Maverick's World way before all this. You gotta love that shit. You gotta kill it if you love it that much. You know, welcome to my world. Now get the fuck out. You know, and basically that was a picture. Rich took that picture that you guys have of "Welcome to my world." I got my gun in my back, and that was the first shirt that was even printed. And that was done at Merch Stock, where John just had made me a one-off shirt that said "Welcome to my world." And that's where some of the marketing stuff, logos, came from. Needless to say, me and Rich were still trying to figure out what we were going to do, how we were going to market this, you know, us hanging out. So we just started going to the beach, hanging out, taking pictures and doing whatever. So when it first hit me, there was a guy online called Mr. Yorkie Lover Fitness. He had videotaped me and Rich, I think, and Chanel and Gwen. We were doing some shit, whatever. And it got, I think, 100,000 views.
Oh, shit.
Okay? And the guy was like, "Oh, thank you guys so much. That's so cool. I've got 100,000 views, the most I've ever gotten, this and that." And so my business mind, I'm like, okay, there's something here.
Yeah.
There's something here. And the whole time, Rich is like, when we were doing, it was another thing that we did. It was called the fighter, the bodybuilder, and the ex-con. I have posters with the pictures of that. And it was another thing that we were going to try to shoot and do at the time with Marcus, but it didn't take off because Rich was like, you know, the bodybuilder, I haven't won any big shows. I didn't do any of the big shows. I didn't win anything. You know, I didn't become anything. I'm all, dude, you don't get it. It's not about a fucking title.
Yeah.
You know,
it's the look.
It's not about a fucking title. So, needless to say, the mutant opportunity had came up. And so I started talking, you know what, just fucking do it. We're going to figure this thing out. 5%, we still haven't quite figured out 5% yet. The mutant thing was up. I said, man, go to these expos. Let's check this thing out. So in my business sense of mind, we're at the expos and I see Rich there. Now I'm looking at Jay Cutler. I'm looking at all the guys that are like the Olympias, this and that. And the people that are in line are not bodybuilders. Mm-hmm. The people at the fucking fitness expo are like Joe Blow fucking whatever. That's what the masses is. Yeah, there's bodybuilders there. But if you look at the masses of the people at those expos, they're just like tattooed people or just people that just want to look cool with fashion. They're into bodybuilding, but they're not the real big fucking massive bodybuilders.
Yeah,
that's
exactly
what the fucking masses was.
Mm-hmm.
In my head, my mind's clicking like, fuck. This shit isn't even about being a fucking big-ass bodybuilder and a fucking title. Yeah, those guys are going to have a little bit of a line. But the truth of the matter is the masses here are fucking not into that. They just fucking like the fitness shit in a whole. Whether it's taking steroids, getting a tattoo, or just having fucking big biceps. It wasn't about if you were Mr. fucking Olympia. Mm-hmm. Because Mr. fucking Olympia didn't have the biggest lines at the expo. So my mind starts clicking. The reality of what the fuck is going on at these expos. Do you have to be a Mr. Olympia? No, you don't. You don't have to be a fucking Mr. Olympia. And then YouTube is taking off, so I'm looking at YouTube. I'm watching this guy fucking build model airplanes, and he's got 1 million fucking views. I'm looking at this chick fucking scratching her ass because she's got a hairy ass, and she's got 1 million fucking views. So in my head, I'm like, this has got nothing to do with a fucking world champion MMA fighter or a fucking Mr. fucking Olympia. It's about something that's unique. And I told Rich, I said, all you have to be is you. All you have to be is a freaky you that's positive, and trust me, this will blow up. So after discussion with that, we're sitting down one day and we're talking about a new logo, or talking about a new brand, and then obviously that's when 5% comes up. Mm-hmm. Rich initially was talking about 1%ers, and I was like, because he had the thing, well, you do the one, like the motorcycle gangs. I said, dude, you don't want to emulate anybody.
Yeah.
That's not original. That's not who you are. You're not you're not imitating anybody. You're a big freaky dude with fucking tattoos, and that's all you need to be. And a positive dude. You don't have to be Mr. Olympia. You don't got to be 2-time world fucking powerlifting champion. You don't need to be that shit, because that's a very small group of people that follow that. We want to appeal some way to the fucking masses, to everybody. Everybody's not going to have 21-inch arms. Everybody's not going to be 300 fucking pounds, okay? But we're going to figure out a way to appeal to the fucking masses. And you're going to do that by being uniquely who you are. Because, let's face it, he was a unique-looking fucking dude.
Sure.
Now, fast forward, 5% nutrition, 5% comes up.
Now, let me cut in for 1 second. How did you guys come up with the name 5%? Now, you said you was kicking around 1%, so how did that all come about?
We were talking about we were talking about what percent. Here's the truth about it. I was saying, you know what? What is the percentage of the people in the fucking physical fitness industry that are willing to go above and beyond fucking careless, recklessness fucking things to become whatever they want to fucking become physically? How many people is that? What do you think what is that? Mm-hmm. And he was like, oh, well, 1%. That's about 1%. I said, no, it's not 1%, because there's more than that. And 1%, like I said, was like a motorcycle gang thing, you know? Mm-hmm. Not that we were identifying with that. And I said, Rich, truly, the number 5 is a very strong-looking number, okay? A lot of football players had that number 5, because that was like the ace of spades number in football. That was kind of like, you weren't number 1, but you weren't number 12. You were number 5. You were like the black sheep, okay?
Yeah.
And I said, truthfully, there's about 5% of the people in the industry that will do whatever the fuck it takes, and take whatever they take and shoot fucking cholesterol in them or whatever the fuck they want to shoot to fucking get the look they want to have. And that's where we thought, okay, yeah. And that's a strong number, 5. It looks good in the percent, the 5. It looked strong. And it was simple. It was one number you could identify with, and it meant a lot because it was a strong number. And we were in his house, and sitting down. Actually, Chanel was there, Gwen was there, and Rich and the dogs, and we're chopping up, and we're like, okay, that's what it's going to be, 5%. And we started that okay, 5% of society, 5% of everything is going to do and take whatever it is they need to do to get where they're going. And that doesn't mean only in the fitness industry. That means in, business and fucking drug dealers and swap meet people. There's 5% of those motherfuckers going to do whatever it takes to succeed and make that money at the end of the fucking month. Mm-hmm. And that's what I told him. I said, dude, it needs to appeal to the fucking masses. Everybody needs to believe it. They can be that 5%. That 5% of fucking society that can do whatever the fuck it takes to succeed. And that's truly the evolution of where 5% came from. Mm-hmm. And during that time, I had invented a injectable, and I was injecting Rich with this injectable. It's the truth of it. It was a synthol blend is what it was. But Rich didn't look like synthol because nobody has this fucking blend. No one has it. No one has it to this day that I know of. And that's what we were giving Rich. And that's why he was just getting bigger and freakier and looking muscular. And, all these fucking coattails that talk about they were the fucking, driving force behind 5%. They promoted and pushed 5%, this and that. Well, why weren't any of those motherfuckers at the funeral? why do you think they talk about this fucking detective and nobody wants to talk to the detective? No, because the fucking detective didn't call any of you motherfuckers because you motherfuckers don't know the truth. The motherfucker called me because he got his text messages between me and Rich. What was the falling out with me and Rich Piana?
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to tell you what it was.